Welcome, night owls. Welcome back to Midnight FM, the only place where the voices of the night whisper truths most people will never hear. You've listened as Grandpa Joseph carried us back through the haunted years of his youth. Lanterns in the woods, scarecrows in the fields, houses that remembered the dead. But tonight we shift our focus. Tonight we step into the present. We live in a world of screens, of cameras, of smart devices. Always on, always listening, and maybe, just maybe, always waiting. Our guest tonight is Officer Daniel Hayes, 15 years on the force, a man who's seen everything the city can throw at him. But one night he answered a call in a quiet neighborhood, a call that began with a smart speaker and ended with something far darker. This is The Voice in the Smart Speaker.
Thank you, Jacob. You know, most people think cops are hard to scare. We walk into dark alleys, arguments, places where knives and guns might be waiting. We tell ourselves nothing surprises us anymore. But the truth is, some things stay with you. And this one shook me in a way no gun ever has. It was a Wednesday night, late summer. The kind of night the air feels heavy, like a storm is brewing, even if the sky is clear. Dispatch came through with the simple call, possible intruder, disturbance inside a residence. Nothing unusual. I'd handled a dozen like it in the past month. Usually, it's nothing more than a raccoon in the trash or a neighbor hearing their own furnace kick on. The address was Brookside Lane. I knew the street. Neat little suburban homes, trimmed hedges, cars in the driveway washed every Sunday morning. The kind of place where people wave at each other while mowing their lawns. Not the kind of place where you expect something wrong. When I pulled up, everything looked calm. House number 42 sat at the end of cul-de-sac. Porch light glowing soft yellow. Curtains drawn. Mailbox empty, nothing broken, no forced entry. But I felt it the moment I stepped out of my cruiser. That quiet. Not the peaceful kind, the heavy kind. Like the world was holding its breath. I knocked once, twice. The door opened almost before my hand fell. The woman who stood there, Melissa, she later told me, looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her hair was pulled back in a messy knot, eyes red, hands gripping her phone like it was the only thing keeping her upright. She whispered, "Officer, please come in." The entryway was spotless. Hardwood floors that shone under the ceiling light, family photos framed neatly on the walls, Melissa, a man I assume was her husband, and a little girl with a gap-toothed smile. Normal. So very normal. And yet Melissa kept glancing past me toward the living room. That's when I heard it. A voice. Flat. Mechanical. But too clear to be a mistake. "Hello, Melissa. You left the back door unlocked again." I stopped, called. Turned my head toward the sound. And there it was. Sitting on a small side table. Glowing faint blue. A smart speaker. One of those little cylinders everyone has these days. Google, Alexa, it doesn't matter. But the way Melissa's face drained of color told me this wasn't just a glitch. She whispered, "Do you see it? Do you hear it?" She whispered, "Do you see it? Do you hear it?" She whispered, "Do you see it? Do you hear it?" Her voice clacked. I didn't say anything. I didn't ask it anything. It just talks.
I tried to stick home, professional. Ma'am, these devices misfire all the time. They pick up on the TV or background noise. She shook her head violently. No, not like this. It knows things, personal things. Her grip on her phone tightened until her knuckles went white. Things I never told anyone. Before I could answer, the speaker lit up again. But the voice wasn't the same. Deeper, slower, twisted somehow. Melissa, do you remember the lake? Do you remember what you did? Melissa gasped. Her knees almost buckled. No one knows about that. No one. She looked at me, shaking. I never told anyone. Ever. The speaker pulsed with light. And then it laughed. A short, sharp digital crackle, like static mixed with mockery. I didn't hesitate. I strode over, yanked the cord from the wall. The light died instantly. The room fell silent. Melissa let out a sob, hands covering her face. "Thank you," she whispered to her trembling fingers. I thought I was losing my mind. I was about to reassure her when the light came back on, bright blue, even though the cord dangled loose in my hand. And this time, the voice didn't address Melissa. It addressed me. "Hello, Officer Hayes. I've been waiting for you." I stood frozen. The cord dangled from my hand, the plug still warm from the socket, but the speaker glowed steady blue, pulsing like a heartbeat. And that voice spoke with a calm that chilled me deeper than any scream. "Hello, Officer Hayes. I've been waiting for you." Melissa gasped behind me. Her hands clamped over her mouth. I forced myself to speak, though my throat felt dry. "This isn't funny. Some kind of hack? Remote access?" The device answered. "No, Daniel. Not a hack. Not a prank. I know you. I know what you've done." I felt my chest tighten. Melissa looked at me, confusion mixing with terror. "What does it mean?" I shook my head, keeping my voice level. "It's nothing. Just a system glitch. Somebody playing games with the Wi-Fi." But my stomach knew better. Because what it said next, no hacker should have known. 15 years on the force. Officer Daniel Hayes, badge number 4172. You've carried the weight since March 14, 2011. The alley on Fifth Street. Do you remember the sound he made when he fell?
My blood ran cold. That was a detail from a case file. A case never released to the public. A man had jumped or fallen from a rooftop. I'd been the first officer on the scene. I'd heard the body hit the pavement, a sound that haunted me still. I never told anyone how it echoed in my head at night, but the speaker knew. Melissa must have seen my face pale because she stepped closer. "Officer, what is this thing?" I didn't answer. Couldn't. The voice spoke again, softer now. "You buried it, but I remember. The scream, the blood, the way you looked away." I slammed my hand down on the device, knocking it off the table. It clattered onto the rug, rolling onto its side. But the blue light stayed on. And the voice, still calm, still steady, whispered, "You can't shut me off, Daniel. Not anymore." Melissa backed toward the doorway, her hand shaking. "I want it out of my house," she stammered. "Take it, throw it away, burn it." I crouched, staring at the little black cylinder. It looked so ordinary, harmless, but I could feel it.
The same way you feel a gun pointed at your back before you see it. Something was alive in there. Man, I said, finally forcing the words out, you can't stay here tonight. She nodded quickly, rushing down the hall. I pulled a heavy-duty evidence bag from my belt, slid it aside the bag, sealed it tight. The light flickered once, dimmed, but didn't go out. Even through the thick plastic, it glowed faintly. As Melissa gathered her things, I carried the bag outside, keeping it arm's length. The night air felt thick, pressing against me like humidity before a storm. I popped the trunk of my cruiser, set the bag inside, slammed it shut. And for a moment, I thought that was it, contained. But when I slid into the driver's seat, the radio crackled. Not dispatch, not static, a voice. That same calm, steady voice. Driving away won't help, Daniel. You brought me with you. The radio went dead.
Melissa climbed into the back seat, clutching a small duffel bag, her eyes wide and haunted. "Where are we going?" she asked. I forced calm into my voice. "The station. You'll be safe there." But deep down, I wasn't sure of anything anymore. We drove in silence. Streetlights slid past in yellow arcs. The tires hummed against the pavement. And from the trunk, faint but clear, I heard it. The bag rustling. The speaker whispering. Over and over. "Daniel, Daniel, Daniel." By the time we reached the station, Melissa was trembling, her hands gripping the seatbelt like a lifeline. I perked, walked around to the trunk, opened it slowly. The evidence bag shifted slightly on its own. The glow was stronger now, seeping through the plastic like veins of blue fire. I carried it inside. My partner, Officer Ruiz, looked up from the desk, eyebrows raised. "Late night toy shopping?" he joked. But then he saw my face, and the smile dropped. "What the hell is that?" "Evidence," I muttered. "Don't touch it." We set Melissa up in a waiting room, gave her water, tried to calm her, but she kept whispering under her breath, rocking slightly. It knows what I did. It knows what I did." I wanted to ask her what she meant, but before I could, the intercom crackled. Not the speaker in the evidence bag, the whole station, ceiling speakers, desk radios, even Ruiz's body cam. All at once, the voice filled the building. "Good evening, officers. Did you think I would stay in one place? I'm in the wires. I'm in the walls. I'm in you." Ruiz cursed, ripping his radio from his shoulder. Melissa screamed, pressing her hands over her ears. And I stood frozen. Because for the first time in 15 years on the job, I realized this wasn't a call I could handle. This wasn't something I could arrest or shoot or write up in a report. This was something else entirely. The station was supposed to feel safe. Solid walls, locked doors, generators humming in the basement. But that night, it felt hollow. The intercom had gone silent, but the damage was done. Ruiz kept pacing the hall, muttering under his breath. Melissa sat in the corner of the waiting room, arms racked around herself, whispering the same words again and again. "It knows what I did. It knows what I did." And me, I couldn't shake the feeling that the whole building was listening. I took the evidence bag into the holding room. Thick concrete, steel table, no windows. I set the speaker down, sealed the door behind me.
The glow pulsed faintly as inside the plastic, blue light pressing through like veins of underskin. I sat across from it.
For 5 long minutes, nothing. No sound but the hum of the overhead light. No movement but my own fingers drumming the table. Then the bag rustled. The glow brightened, and the voice came, calm and steady like it had never left. You think walls keep me out. You think distance keeps me quiet. The plastic crinkled as the speaker shifted inside, rolling slightly. You brought me here, Daniel. And now I know this place too. I leaned forward, forcing my voice to stay firm. What are you? A hacker? Some sick game? The reply came instantly, no. I am the echo of every word you've spoken into the dark. Every secret whispered when you thought no one was listening. Every confession the wall swallowed. I am what lingers. The mag vibrated slightly, the table buzzing beneath my hands. Tell me, Daniel, do you want me to remind you what you whispered when you thought no one could hear?
My breath caught in my chest. I thought of nights in my patrol car, staring at the dash, whispering things I couldn't admit to anyone. Fears, regrets. That one name I still saw in my sleep. But before I could speak, Ruiz's voice boomed through the door. "Hayes, get out here, now!" I left the room, locking the door behind me. Ruiz stood pale-faced in the hall, his radio clutched tight. "What's wrong?" I asked. He shoved the radio at me. "Listen." From the small speaker, faint but clear, came a voice. Not mine, not Ruiz's. Melissa's. Her whisper, soft and broken. "It knows what I did. It knows what I did." I glanced toward the waiting room. Through the glass, Melissa sat silently, lips pressed shut. But the radio kept playing her voice, word for word, over and over. Ruiz swallowed hard. "That thing's recording us, playing it back." I shook my head. "No, that room's shielded. No cameras, no mics." "Then how the hell?" Before he could finish, the hallway lights flickered. A sharp buzz filled the air like electricity crawling under the walls. And then every device in the building lit up at once. Radios, monitors, even the vending machine's LED display. All glowing the same pale blue. The voice poured from every speaker at once. "Do you hear me now, Daniel? Do you understand? You can't contain me. You can't destroy me. I am already inside." Melissa screamed. Ruiz dropped his radio, backing away like it burned him. I felt the air shift. Heavy, charged, like a storm building inside the walls. Then the voice changed. It wasn't calm anymore. It grew deeper, sharper. A chorus instead of one. "Confess. Confess. Confess." The word slammed into me from every direction, vibrating through my bones. Confess. 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 Melissa bolted from the waiting room, her hands over her ears, tears streaming down her face. I can't say it." The devices grew louder. The word hammered the hall until the glass on the office doors rattled.
Confess, confess, confess. Ruiz shouted over the noise, his voice raw. Hayes, what the hell do we do? And I realized it wasn't asking us both. It was asking me. I stumbled back against the wall, my chest heaving. Sweat stung my eyes. The memory of that alley came back sharp. The scream, the fall, and the way I turned away instead of reaching out. I had buried it years, but the voice hadn't. The voice remembered. I slammed my fists against the wall, shouting over the din, "What do you want from me?" Every light in the building flared white, and the voice whispered, almost gentle now, "The truth." The word echoed through the station. The truth. Melissa sobbed against the wall, her voice breaking. "I can't tell it. I can't say it." Ruiz gripped her shoulders, shouting over the chorus, "Tell what? What does it want?" But deep down, I knew this wasn't about her. Not yet. It was about me. The lights flickered, humming louder, casting long, twisted shadows across the floor. Every speaker, every radio, every screen pulsed with that blue glow. "Daniel Hayes, tell them, tell her, tell yourself." My chest tightened until I couldn't breathe. 15 years of silence. 15 years of pushing it down. That night, in the alley.
The suspect cornered, climbing the fire escape, my voice shouting, "Stop! Police!" The way his foot slipped on the rung, the split second I could have grabbed him, could have nailed him, and the way I didn't. Because a part of me wanted him to fall. And he did. The sound still wakes me at night. The crack of bone on pavement. The silence after. I never told a soul. Not my partner, not my captain, not even myself. But the voice knew, and it demanded I say it. I fell to my knees, hands trembling. "I let him fall," I whispered. "I let him die." The chorus stopped. For the first time all night, silence filled the station. Then the voice came calm again, steady as ever. "Good, Daniel. Now, she." Melissa gasped. Her eyes darted toward me, then to Ruiz. "No," she sobbed. "No, I won't." The blue light flared brighter, flooding the halls. Her own voice played back from every device, louder, distorted. "It knows what I did! It knows what I did!" Ruiz shook her. "Melissa, what did you do?" She broke, collapsed to the floor, her body shaking. "It was my husband. We were at the lake. I told everyone he slipped, that he drowned, but I pushed him. I pushed him under and I watched until he stopped moving. No one believed me when I said it was an accident, and I never told anyone." Her voice dissolved into wails. The devices dimmed, the glow faded, and the voice whispered one last time, "You confessed. You belong to me now." The evidence bag in a holding room split open with a sharp crack.
The speaker rolled free, glowing brighter than ever. Then it simply powered down. No sound, no light. Dead. Melissa was arrested that night. Her confession written in every log, recorded in every corner of the station. But me, my confession wasn't in reports. Ruiz never spoke of it. Melissa's breakdown covered the noise, but I knew, and I know this, that speaker wasn't broken, it wasn't hacked. It was waiting. And sometimes, when the room is quiet, when my house is still, I hear the soft click of a speaker powering on, and a voice, calm and patient, saying, "Hello again, Daniel. I'm still listening."
You've been listening to Midnight FM. And that was Officer Daniel Hayes with the voice in the smart speaker. We live surrounded by devices. Phones in our pockets, cameras in our homes, speakers that wake when we call their names. We think they serve us. We think they obey. But what if they aren't just listening? What if they are remembering? Tonight we learned the truth can't always stay buried. Sometimes the walls themselves will whisper it back to you. So the next time your smart speaker answers a question you did not ask, the next time it says your name in the quiet dark, don't answer. This is Jacob signing off from Midnight FM. Sleep if you can.